How much have I done in the first half of 2022? Not nearly enough. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle. It is June 30th, 2022, and if I was keeping really good track of my projects, this would be the time I'd be doing a mid-year finish update. What do we call those? I have not tracked my projects very well at all over the past 2.5 years. You can imagine why. But I pulled through what I have because I like being able to look back and see what I have done. And that's going to require a little bit of record keeping because I just looked over and I have a pair of socks. I have no clue what these are, except they're not 2022. So let's do the record keeping and see what I have finished. Hint, there's not much. Started the year finishing Crow Creek Salt Box by Pinker Pumpkin Quilting. I love this. I think I did most of it, half of it, some of it at the end of 2021. Then I did Winter Salt Box. You're going to see a theme here. This is the one that had several false starts because I wasn't getting enough contrast between the white and the background fabric. I love what I wound up with. Then there was Dorothy May's Spring House. And I'm a considerable amount of the way through Strawberry Salt Box. I love the pink. I love the urn. This makes me smile, and it has been sitting in its project bag for a couple weeks because I had other stuff going on with the family, and I pulled this out this morning and I fell in love with it all over again. I don't know how I forgot how perfect those pinks are. I don't. And then let's look back at the rest of the WIPs for this year. Again, there's a definite lack of progress here. So we'll start with Rainy Summer. I love Rainy Summer. I have not picked up Rainy Summer since January. But there wasn't a reason I put it down. That's going to be a recurring theme, is there wasn't a reason. On a lot of these, there wasn't a reason. And then the next one for the year, which I think was a new start for this year, was Blue Jays. I was having all kinds of fun with Blue Jays. Did we start the Blue Jays sale this year or was that last year? I know why I put this one down. I put this one down because I still had some kind of crazy delusions that I was going to finish this one. This is Carps. And I still love Carps. I got a couple more fish to do in some water, and reminder, this is full coverage, including all that white around the edges, which I've decided is necessary white around the edges because unstitched 12 count Aida just is not going to make me happy. This is really fancy project storage here, guys. Next on the list, and I have been working on this one. I have not been working on this one. I started this one a long time ago, and like I said, my tracking and record keeping has just gone out the window. This is Mad Bluebird. Remember a few months ago when I was talking about how I just had this little patch of fence posts and some back stitching to do, and it was I could do this? I forgot the project existed. Whenever the Holderness family won the Amazing Race, that's the last time I worked on this. I can sometimes tie my stitchery to really weird landmarks or points in time. European Bistro. I love everything I'm working on this year. I'm just not doing enough working. I pulled it out. I did some more of the room here. This is good for me because I'm pulling these things out and I'm getting a reminder of why in a year when I have done so little actual stitching, especially considering I have a Flosstube channel devoted to cross stitching, I'm starting to remember what I was excited about. And maybe that will give me the opportunity to get excited about it again. Next up, we've got Beach Babies. And I can't remember what I did on Beach Babies last time I hauled it out. I think I finished her bucket and did some sand. Something? I could finish this. In a perfect world, I could finish this summer. 2022 is not a perfect world, and I am not pressuring myself. I like setting goals. I like trying to reach those goals, but the last 2.5 years or so, I've just been working on what I want to work on because there's so much other stuff I have to be doing that I can give myself a break when it comes to the stitchery. And I had a little flurry of activity over the past 2 days. I have been working on this. It is no count cross stitch. You could not get much different from the things I usually work on. I'm fine. I have such mixed feelings about this. I picked it up at the Hobby Lobby clearance sale. I thought, oh, I haven't done that before. I could try a new thing. I like trying new things. And part of me really likes it. Part of me hates it. There is some deep internal need within myself that this technique is filling in right now. Do you see the grid lines through the stitches? I am assured by the directions that those grid lines are going to wash out, which has to make it look better, but the thread in this kit is absolute crap. I can't decide whether or not I dislike it more than I dislike the thread in the Designworks kits. It's not good thread. It is not subject matter that I love, but for whatever reason, I am finding it soothing to work on this, and so I'm going to keep stitching on it till it's not fun anymore, and then I'm going to put it down and work on something else until that's not fun anymore, because like I said, I don't want to bully myself about stitching right now. Honestly, there is no point of bullying myself about stitching or quilting or any of it ever. And another little flurry of activity. This is the Croy Sidewalk Chalk Stripes yarn that I got at the Hobby Lobby clearance. I don't know a time frame for you. Since the Hobby Lobby yarn clearance, I got like half a sock here. And it has taken me probably more than 6 months to get this almost a sock. Also Hobby Lobby clearance yarn. This is the, I can't remember the name of this stuff. It's a finer gauge. It's not as quick to knit with, but it's prettier and it's got a more happy texture to knit with. So I have them both and I am enjoying them both at different moments of different days. And that's it for the first half of 2022. That's not much. I would imagine it might be more than I did last year, but I don't have the records to prove or disprove that, and I don't feel like going back and watching Flosstube videos and trying to create those records, so we will just let it remain a mystery. I did have a revelation. I think I figured out part of my problem. My husband and I, he had a vacation, and we went over to my parents' vacation place in Sisters for the weekend at the same time as our internet was out. And the logic was, our 22-year-old is at the house. He can deal with the internet repair guy when he comes, because their policy is they do not come indoors. And even if he needed to come indoors, the 22-year-old could take care of it. but all the contacting had to come through my phone. So I am not at the house, but I have to coordinate things because my phone is the one on the account. And if we go to drive home, we're going to be in the pass and not have phone service. And this is not earth shattering. This is not a big deal, but it's a deal. They texted me, we'll be there between 8 and noon. Like 11, they text me again, we'll be there between 1 and 5. It was that kind of day. In the meantime, we wake up at the house and sisters and there is no power. Before we leave, after we've been staying at their place, we vacuum the floors and launder the linens and do all the things to put the house back in the condition we found it. So I am juggling trying to figure out who the electric company is and what the address is so I can report a power outage, and dealing with the phone company back at our own house. And like I said, none of this is earth-shattering. It just takes time and energy. And there have been, over the past 2.5 years, so many of these stupid things that won't matter 10 days later, but in the moment they're sucking up your time and energy. Then we got home, and a few days later there was an incident where a phone somehow wound up in a swimming pool. That was all the details I got. I got some more details later, and yeah, it was in the pocket of its owner, and not my phone, not my monkeys, not my circus, but yeah, I was involved in that one too. Today's been almost a good day so far. And the other thing, while we're at the mid-year totals, I am loving the planner I got for this year. It is a different style than I have used, but I am almost mostly keeping it up. And I don't want to show you all everything, but it has the days, and so I'm taking half of the weekdays and using this part for lists and stuff, and I am really liking this. And I'm writing in it, jotting stuff down more days than not. But at the same time, I've been watching some plan with me videos, and if the people who are really into their planners and that is their hobby do not keep up with their planners, then I don't need to feel guilty at all about not keeping up with mine, as long as I write down appointments and we make it to the appointments and the bare bones stuff gets done. I'm going to go have more fun with my no count cross stitch. I've got some other stuff lined up that I want to try. I've got a stamped kit. I've got, what else? I've got the liquid embroidery set. I've got a bunch of stuff that is already here at the house that is trying something new. Apparently I am in the mood to try something new. So as time and life permits, I'm just going to work on that stuff, and then I'm feeling motivated to pull all this back out and maybe make some progress on that too as time allows. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle. I hope your year is going more productively than mine.